Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. We've got a bunch of news to go through, so let's just go straight into it. Starting off with, Chelsea will present new firm offer to club for 50 million plus. Player want to close deal as soon as possible. So as you can see down here, Jules Kounde is the man that we're talking about today. And it says that Blues will be quick to restart negotiations, obviously since the sanctions and all that stuff has gone on. We've agreed terms with him is basically what's been reported for ages. But now, of course, we've got to get Sevilla over the line. So what it's saying here is that a deal could be struck for a figure between 50 to 60 million, which would be not a problem for Chelsea. So Chelsea is saying, you know what, we'll pay that. That's 50 to 60 million euros. I believe 50 million euros is about 42 million pounds. So when you think Chelsea are going to get one of the top, if not the top, young defensive talent for about 42 million pounds, should this deal go over the line, that is a great deal. And even if it goes up towards 60, you know, that's about 50 million. That is absolutely fine by me. I got no problem with Chelsea paying that. Of course, losing, as I mentioned, Andreas Christensen and Rudiger as three of our possible centre-backs. We'll have a few players, of course, left over. But Jules Kounde coming in is going to be huge. And about 42 million, I think it's 42.6 million pounds, is very cheap for that. And it looks like Chelsea are going ahead with it. It says here that Sevilla, for their part, have already accepted that a deal will take place. And they're basically looking to bring in some defence once they've raised enough funds. I think that the talk was that they wanted this deal done quickly as well. So if they can get this done in the next couple of weeks, Sevilla will be much more likely to accept something than if we leave it late in the window. And of course, then we saw what happened last year. They decided we're keeping him, we're not letting him go now, it's too late. So Chelsea need to get this done soon, and it sounds like we're going to. We've already started to make moves to secure the deal. We're in talks, and about 42.6 million for Jules Kounde. That could be one of the bargains of the next decade, assuming he lives up to what we all hope and dream he will. But I'm sure he will. Then next up, we have a topic saying that Marina Granovskaya is likely leaving Chelsea at the end of August, and the top target to replace her is Andrea Berta of Atletico Madrid. Now, if anyone is aware of Andrea Berta, I'm not too aware of them and how good they are as a sort of negotiator in these sort of deals, so let me know. What do I think Marina should go? I'm open to it. You know, I'm definitely not on the side of people that say she is awful, she's one of the worst ones ever, like director of football or negotiators, whatever sort of thing you want to put her in. I think it's her job to get us good deals, and over the years Chelsea have made a lot of money on player sales. We're one of the highest clubs that have made profit through player sales. So for me, you know, some of those deals that we've got have been great buying players, and you know, things like the Lukaku deal, which was 100 odd million, stuff like that, fair enough, I understand that. But I don't think she's actually that bad, and I back her a lot of the time. But if she is going to go, new era, Todd Bowley and Clearlake are going to look to put their stamp on the team and get their people in, then I'm open to it, you know. It is what it is. It'll be sad to see her go because she's been here for such a long time now. But if anyone is aware of how Andrea Berta does at Atletico Madrid, let me know, because I'm not too clued up on that. So get in the comments below and let everyone know what you think of them. Next up, we have news with Lukaku, and it says Inter Milan have reached an agreement with Romelu Lukaku for around a salary of 10.5 million euros. So he's taken a big cut to move back. The player's lawyer now has 15 days to convince Chelsea to accept the loan formula. So you're looking at about by the halfway point of this month, if Chelsea can agree to this loan with the obligation to buy that we were talking about in one of the previous videos, then it's going to be settled, he'll be gone. I think there's still people that believe that Lukaku will make it at Chelsea and that he wants to stay. All of this talk makes me think, nah, there's no way it's happening. He wants to go, and I think that's been clear for a long time. You know, that interview sort of sealed it for me, and since then he's tried to convince us and then taken a few steps back, tried to convince us, taken a few steps back. So I think he's just proven it enough, and this basically says, you know, he's taken a big pay cut to go back there, and now his lawyer has 2 weeks to get Chelsea to agree to it. And whether we will, I don't know. If there's enough money in it, sure, but Inter aren't going to have bags of cash, so it's going to be 55, somewhere around there, million pounds that we'll get for him. Absolutely gutted to see it end like this, but there's only one person to blame during this, and it's Lukaku. I don't really think Chelsea are to blame for it all that much, because we were sold dreams by him and his agent clearly for something that was absolutely false. So it seems he's going to be going if Chelsea agree to it. Good riddance. If he stays, then he better score a lot of goals, but the love for him coming back is absolutely gone. Then here we have an update on the sort of defensive midfielder situation for Chelsea. It says Tuchel really wants him. Transfer Insider gives latest on Chelsea summer target. Now, as you can imagine, the club is not all too happy with losing out on Tchouaméni. You can see somewhere down in here in this article, it says, missing out on Tchouaméni is a slight frustration for Chelsea, as ultimately the sanctions meant they could not move forward with talks when Real Madrid could do so. And then it goes on, but West Ham aren't making any breakthrough with Rice over a new contract that is going to lead to more rumours as the window opens next week. Tuchel really wants him. Now, I think I was quite aware that Tuchel knew that, what a player Declan Rice was, but I was a little concerned that he wasn't like that fussed on him, that he had different options throughout, from other clubs in Europe that he would maybe prefer. But hearing that Tuchel really wants him is a great sign for me. The fact that we know West Ham are struggling to get him to agree to a new contract, of course he wants to move, and unless he's convinced that they're going to get, I think, Champions League football consistently, he's not going to stay. And I don't think West Ham will be that team anytime soon. I might be proven wrong this season, but Tuchel saying that he really wants him is big for me. Does it mean that Chelsea are going to be able to go get him? Maybe. Like, the only hope that we have is that we've got new owners in, and they are going to want to stamp their authority on this team, I think, during the transfer window. I think we probably would get him, if not for the fact that we had the defensive issues that we had. If like Rudiger was staying, or Christensen was staying, or Aspi was staying, maybe Chelsea would think, you know what, we can afford to throw a bit of cash at Declan Rice and West Ham, see what we can do there. But the fact that there's so many incomings needed there, we can supplement it with loan players and stuff, so maybe that will allow for it. There's probably going to be a change or two in midfield, whether that's again just loan players, Conor Gallagher and the likes coming back. Attack, if Lukaku's going, we need a striker, and whether that's going to be Armando Broja, another loan player, or Chelsea are going to go out and spend. I'd expect us to probably go and spend on that one. So for me, there's just too many other sections of this team that need to be fixed first before we can look at a signing like Declan Rice, who we don't necessarily need this season. We could go another year without him, but all the teams are going to be after him then. The only thing we'll have is, I think, a place in his heart. I think he does want to come back to Chelsea from all the things we hear. Great mates with so many other players in the squad. Consistently a Champions League team. Like, can Man United offer that if they're going to be in for him? Possibly not. So it's a risky one to leave it another year. The price will come down, but the interest in him is going to go through the roof again. So it's a tough one. We'll see what happens. But Tuchel has his eyes on Declan Rice, and I really hope something ends up happening and surprising us all this transfer window. Then here we have a leak from Footy Headlines showing the Chelsea 22-23 kit, and as you can see pictured, this is supposedly what it's going to be, and I imagine they're right. Footy Headlines tend to be pretty accurate with these leaks, so I'm intrigued to know, what do you guys think of this? Whether the 3 logo is on there, I'm not too sure. It could be gone by then, because there's a lot of talks in the background that maybe 3 won't be the sponsor, so maybe try and imagine it without the giant 3 badge on it. But this is the pre-match, if you're interested in that. I'm not a big fan of it. The colour in general, that I'm not a massive fan of. It's a bit washed out. It doesn't, there's not much to it. So for me, I think I'm not too chuffed with it, but it is only the 3rd kit, so we do have to remember that we'll have the first, the 2nd kits. Maybe some of the pre-match ones and stuff like that will be different as well. So I don't know. For me, it's a thumbs down. The colour just isn't nice. But I do sort of like the black Chelsea badge and some of the trim on the sleeves. It looks quite nice. But that sort of washed out brown, I believe they call it a sesame down here somewhere. It comes as a sesame gold base with a black and orange. It looks better here compared to, I guess, sort of lying down at that. It looks a little nicer, but for me, that's a thumbs down. Let me know what you think on that one. And that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like on it. If you could do me a solid as well, and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'd appreciate that very much too. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.